Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create my CeCe bracelet, which is a reversible loom design. This is the back side here. And then the front side obviously is this side. Here's another one of the back. So you'll need 232 bands total. The breakdown is 52 of the gray on the side. You'll need 24 more of that gray, but you don't see it. It's in the center. You don't really see it from the front. You'll need 46 of the green, 44 of the purple, 44 of the red, and 22 of the turquoise. You will need one C-clip and your hook. So let's get that stuff together and I will explain the loom setup. To make this bracelet, you will want to have one rainbow loom at least. That's what I'm going to use for the video. But if you want a full-length bracelet and no extension, you will need to connect another loom in front of it. So I'll tell you how many border bands to lay for 2 loom lengths once we get there. But I'm just going to use one for the sake of saving time. But you're going to first choose the border color, as I call it, which is going to be this pastel purple. I'm going to use that same color today. So we're going to start by laying one loose one on the beginning for closing it later. We'll go to the left and the right. And then we're just going to go up the sides. So for just one loom, I'm going to lay 11 straight ones. But if you are using the 2 loom lengths, I lay 23 straight ones. If you make 2 full loom lengths, it technically would be 24 straight ones, but that kept coming out too big for me. So if you want to do what I was doing, I lay 23 straight ones and then I bring it in at the end. So I've laid 11 straight ones and now I'm going to bring it in to the center like so. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So that's what it'll look like now. Push those down and we are now going to choose, excuse me, it's the color that sits in the center, but you don't see it from the front. So it's the purple right here. The only recommendation that I would make is you do not want to choose a band that is too stretchy or affects the way the front lays. So if it's too stretchy, don't use it. I just stick to whatever color I'm using for the border. So I'm going to grab that right now. And we are going to lay that going straight in the middle. Keep that color close by. And now we're going to also choose the color that is blue on this bracelet here. I'm going to use blue again. And we're going to be laying diagonal bands from the side pins into the center. Like that. And now we're going to also grab whatever color you want to use where my teal is. I'm going to use teal again. And this time we're going to be laying diagonal bands, but it's going to be a long stretch from the center pin diagonally up to the second pins on the sides. So it makes like a big V. And that's the 3 steps that we're going to alternate going down the loom. So now we're going to go back to the first step, which is the purple straight center one. Then we'll go to my baby blue. And we will bring them diagonally in. And you're going to have to keep pushing everything down as we go along. We'll go to my teal now, and that will be our long stretch diagonal from the center. Back to my straight center. Diagonal blue into the center. And long diagonal V. So let's keep alternating those 3 steps up the loom. The only thing that we're going to do differently at the end of the loom is we do not lay the very last long V when we get to the end of the loom. if you look at the side pins, the last long V should be connected to the second to last pin. I've laid my straight purple. I will lay my diagonal blue into the center. And this is where we would lay the V again, but remember we're not laying that, so we just go back to my purple straight center. So this is what it should look like. So now you guys are going to want to turn your loom around so the arrows are facing you. We are going to do some looping before we lay more bands. So we're going to be looping out the blue and the teal that we just laid. So we will start by coming up to the second pin, and we're going to grab the top diagonal blue and just bring it back to itself, which will be to the left. Then we'll bring the right one diagonally right. We'll come up to the next center. We're going to do that same thing because this first one didn't have any teal on it. So on the second one, we're going to grab the top blue that's in there, bring it left, and bring the right one right. We're going to go to the next center one, and now we have these teal bands. So we're going to be grabbing the top teal, and we're going to bring that back to its pin as well, which is going to be this one down here. So we're just going to grab it off of the pin and loop it down. Do the same to the right side, like so. Come back up to the center, loop out your blue. Come up to the next center and grab your teal and loop it down. That's what it's looking like. And that's all we're going to do for this step, is just keep alternating between the blue and the teal. I want to give a shout out and say I'm sorry to all of the people and families that are affected by this Hurricane Helene storm that came through. My heart breaks so much for all of the people affected by that storm. It's so bad. I can't believe how many homes are destroyed, and the videos of the flooding that I'm seeing is just terrifying. Oh, my heart really does break. My prayers and thoughts are with any of you that have been affected by that. And I really pray that you guys are able to get help. Oh, and hopefully are by now safe. But I'm just seeing video after video, and it's crazy how people take things for granted, and just overnight their lives are changed forever now. And there's been a lot of deaths too, which is just, oh, so heartbreaking. So this is what it looks like after everything is looped, and this is the side view of it. So now we're going to go ahead and turn our loom back around. Arrows are going to be facing away from us. Go through and push these side bands down also, and decide what you're going to want to use for this blue color here, which is what we're going to lay now. I'm going to use that same color, and we are going to be laying some V's. This time they're going to be small V's, not long stretched ones. We're just going to come down to the second middle pin and lay a diagonal band to the left and to the right. And that's all we're going to do on all of the pins going down the loom except for the very last one. We're going to come up to the next one and do the same thing. And we will do that all the way down. But like I said, do not lay a set on the very last center pin. So this is what I'm talking about, where you're not going to lay one. So this is what your loom should look like. And now, once again, we are going to turn the loom around, facing us, and we are going to do a looping step. So what we're going to be doing is flipping the second band over on each pin. The second band will be my teal. And you can grab it right here and flip it. You can grab it from the front too, but I find it takes longer to grab it from there. So I turn my loom to the side and I just reach right in that little gap and flip. We're going to do this on both the left and the right side. And the only pin that we don't do this on is the top one, and that's because we don't have any diagonal bands on that one. That's what it looks like from the top view. And we're going to do the same thing on the right side. So go ahead and get the second band flipped up and over on the right side, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done. So once you are done all of your right side looping, this is what it will look like. And now we are going to do some more looping where we're going to alternate between looping the center purple up and then the diagonal blue we will loop down. So grab a border color, which is my purple, and place a cap band on the front center pin. Wrap it around 2 times. We will start by going into that cap band and looping the top band forward. We don't have any diagonal bands on that pin, so we're going to go into that one again. Grab the bottom purple and loop it up. And now this is where we are going to loop the blue band going downwards. So my top one is coming from the left, so I'm just going to loop it down back to itself. And the right one will go down itself to the right. Now we'll go back into the center and loop up the purple. We'll go back inside, excuse me, go inside the center, grab the blue, and loop it down. Back to my purple, going up, and my blue going down. And we're just going to alternate those 2 steps. This is what your loom will look like after they are all looped out. And now we're going to come back to the beginning and we're going to flip over the other side of that teal band. So it's going to be the 5th band down on each pin. And just like we did the first time, we're just going to grab it and flip it over. We're going to do that on each one. So you're grabbing the 5th band down, which is the other side of that teal band. We're flipping it over the pin and over the bands that are on the pin. So it's looking like that. We're going to do that all the way up. So I actually never knew that your video being longer can hurt the amount of people seeing your videos, because apparently the algorithm is affected. Like if I'm making really, really long videos and you guys aren't watching the whole thing, to them, you guys don't like it enough to keep watching it. Whereas you might just know the pattern by then and not need to watch it. So it actually hurts my videos being like shared more if I'm making long videos, which all of my videos are pretty long because I like to show everything in great detail, which I'm going to keep doing. I just think I should start doing maybe just 1 loom length instead of 2 and see if people keep watching. Because I want my videos to keep getting recommended. And that's something I just learned. So, alright, so I did both sides of flipping the teal band over. And now we have to lay 1 more set of bands. So push all of them down and decide what you want to use for the yellow. I'm going to use pink for that. That's the only thing I am changing color-wise. And what we're going to do, you don't have to turn your loom around. You can leave it facing with the openings facing you. We're going to skip the first pin, come up to the second, and we're just going to lay a horizontal band going across the centers or the sides. Come up to the next one and repeat. And we're going to do that on all of the pins except the very top one. So now we are going to go ahead and do some more flipping of the bands. So the bottom layer of my baby blue bands are going to be getting flipped over. If you're counting them, it's going to be the 4th and 5th band that we're grabbing. So for me, that will be these two. Just make sure you're not accidentally also grabbing the border. And we're just flipping it over the band and over the pin, and it sits like that. That one sits a little different than the rest, but we're going to come up to the next one, grab the 4th and 5th band down, and flip it over. Now these bands, you really want them to look not twisted. It makes the bracelet look better when they sit nice and straight next to each other. So I do try to flip them, I guess, carefully, and I try to hold my hook in a way that I don't twist them. I don't know if that makes sense, but I try to ease them over, and I try to like keep them straight. If they do get twisted, I try to pick them back up with my hook. I stretch it, they're nice and straight, and now I slowly take my hook out. If you're not able to do that or able to correct it while it's on the loom, you can correct it when we take it off, so don't worry. So also make sure that you flip all of the right side as well. So now we're going to work on the border. So we're going to come down into the cap band, and we are going to loop the top band back to itself, which mine comes from the right, so that's where it's going to go back. And then the bottom one will go to the left. We're going to come to the side here, go into the corner pin and grab the bottom band and bring it forward. Now we need to flip over my medium blue bands right there, which is going to be the 3rd and 4th band down on the pin if you're including the band that we just laid there. So you do have to reach under the band and get into that opening. Grab both of them at the same time. I do like to kind of pull them out and give it a little bit of a stretch and flip it over. And the reason I do that is so that it's not super tight on the border band, because it does squish it too much. So I try to pull it a little bit as I flip it. Then we'll go back into the pin, grab the bottom band, loop it up. And again, we will flip the 3rd and 4th band, which are these two blues right here, like so. And we're going to alternate those 2 steps up the loom. So we loop up the border and flip my blue bands. Like that. So after you connect the top band to the corner, you're just going to go in again. We're not going to do anything else on that pin except grab the bottom band and bring it into the center. So you're going to come down to the right side and you're going to do the exact same thing, looping the border up and flipping the third and fourth over. So go ahead and get your right side loomed up just like we did on the left side, and I will meet you back here at the top. So this is what it will look like after both sides are completed. We're going to come to the top here, grab one side of that loose band that we laid at the beginning, reach down in there. We're going to bring both ends together, and that's where our C-clip will go. Go ahead and carefully take it off of the loom. When I pull it off of the loom, I do like to give it a stretch just to help things fall into place. This came out really nicely, but if you have any bands that are sitting in here that are twisted, you can pull up on one side of the band like that and roll it with your finger in the opposite direction and then pull on the bracelet again for it to tuck back in. That is how you can fix those if they are twisted on you. This is the back side. This came out really good. But that is how you create my CeCe bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to hit the like button down below and share your rendition with me on Instagram. I love seeing your renditions. But that will be it for today, you guys. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.